My name's Debbie. Welcome to Tie-Dye School. Today, in episode 1, I'm going to teach you all the basics to get you started. We'll talk about fiber reactive dyes, where I get them, how to use them, all the other stuff you need, plus what fabrics will take dye, how to do this cool pleated technique, and show you the whole washing process. What you'll need to get started are dyes, Synthropol, which is a detergent to wash your dyes afterwards, soda ash, and urea. So I get all of my dyes from Dharma Trading, so that's dharmatrading.com, and they have a huge selection. You know, it's actually easy to get all the supplies. Like Dharma, they have dyeing kits, so you can get everything you need all in one box. You don't have to worry about remembering what everything is, and then they come with instructions, and that's a great way to get started. Before we start getting into how to mix the dyes, we have to soak our fabrics in a soda ash solution, and that is a dye activator. So it's a powder that you dilute in water and you soak your fabric, and then that is your mordant, which means it's preparing the fabric to receive the dye. So let's just get that going. Okay, so we need a gallon of hot water, and I like to use the water in the hose when it's hot from the sun, and then I don't have to waste any energy at the sink waiting for it to get hot. So I've got my pitcher here, and just note, all of the supplies that I use for dyeing, I don't use for anything else. So this is never gonna see juice, and this is never gonna see soup. These are all dedicated to dyeing. So I'm gonna make just get a gallon of water going. Okay, so I'm gonna pour this into my soaking bucket right here. So this is enough water to cover the fabric that I'm gonna be dyeing. So it's hot. The benefit of living in a warm climate. So I have a cup of soda ash. So I pour that into the water, and then I give it a good stir until it's all dissolved. But let's talk about which fabrics will take dye. So these fiber reactive dyes work with natural fibers only, and natural fibers are cotton, linen, hemp, wool, silk, even rayon. So rayon is it's like a chemically processed natural fiber. It is made of wood pulp or the fuzz off of cotton seeds, and it takes dye really beautifully. So today I am using a rayon lycra jersey. It's 95% rayon, so that's plenty. If you have a blend, like a cotton poly t-shirt, you shouldn't have more than like 15% polyester. Okay, so here is my dry pre-washed fabric. And I'm going to do my pleated pattern in it now before it goes into the soda ash solution. So I'm going to do, my favorite kind of pleating technique is just really kind of organic. Just I walk my fingers on the fabric to make just little teeny pleats, because I want the most color I can. If I do really big pleats, or if I tie it really tightly, that'll block the fabric from absorbing color, and that'll create more white space. So whatever it is that you're going for is great. I just like lots of color. So I'm gonna do my pleats like this, and I could do a rubber band around it, but a lot of times that'll take this whole flat part of pleats and just kind of make it go, and then that whole folded part will be kind of blocked from absorbing dye. So what I do is I take these popsicle sticks and I create a little popsicle stick sandwich, and I'll take a rubber band and I do a little figure 8, and then that kind of holds it flat in the pleated pattern. So I'm just gonna go Walk my fingers, real teeny weeny little pleats. Okay, just trying to make it straight. Get my popsicle stick, rubber band, figure 8, and bam. Okay, now we take the whole thing and we put it into our soda ash solution for 5 minutes. So there are 3 basic kinds of dyes. You can have natural dyes where you use vegetables or plant matter or even avocado pits to dye fabrics. There are all-purpose dyes. RIT is considered one of those dyes. And then there are fiber reactive dyes. So I only use fiber reactive dyes because they are the most vibrant and permanent. Okay, so since these are all powdered dyes, we have to dissolve them. And I have these little bottles. These are 8-ounce, 1-cup bottles, and they seem to be the perfect size for most of my projects. So I'm going to make 2 cups of water with urea. So it's an ingredient that helps the dyes dissolve. So we need to do a tablespoon of urea per a cup of water. So I still have my hot hose water. So I'm going to do 2 cups because I'm going to do a 2-color tie-dye today. And 2 tablespoons of urea. And just stir that up real good so it's all dissolved. So today I'm making a project for my friend Megan, and her favorite colors are purple and turquoise. So I'm going to use turquoise and powerberry. There they are. So I've got my mixie bottles, I've got my water with the urea already dissolved in it. So now I'm going to get my dye powder mixed up. So it's 1 teaspoon of dye per cup of water. So this is a 1/2 teaspoon measure. Here's 1/2. And then 1 teaspoon. And you want to make sure the dye powder is totally dissolved. So what you do is add just a little bit of water at first. And then you will put the cap on it and shake it up. Here is a tip. Dyeing is super messy, okay? So just always keep a wet rag around because you are going to be wiping your hands off and surfaces off like all the time. So if you just keep one around, then it'll keep the mess down, okay? So now that the mixture should be dissolved, I'm going to finish filling up my bottle to the whole cup of water. Okay. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes, so we're going to take our fabric out. Just squeeze it out. All that extra liquid back in the bucket. Okay, then we're going to put it on our dyeing tray. Alright, so I'm going to just kind of arrange it so that the surfaces are exposed, just like that. And then I can start applying my dye. Here we go. I want to show you how, even though I soaked the top, there's still going to be white areas underneath. See that? So, you know, like I said, this is a creative process, and whatever you want to happen is up to you, but I want to get color on that. So I'm going to go through and just squirt more dye in where it needs it. Alright, so I've applied my dye and I'm happy with the results, and now it's time to wait. Some people wait as little as 1 hour, some wait all night and they rinse it the next day, but I am a fan of quick results, and so I wait 2 hours. That's about as much as I can handle before I have to see what happened. Okay, so the 2 hours are finally up and we can rinse. So the process goes, you rinse with everything tied until it's pretty well rinsed, and then you can untie it, and then you rinse it some more, and then you throw it in the washing machine. Alright, it is time for the best part, when we get to take off all the ties. So you can see that not all the dye is totally gone, but it is the vast majority of it. So here we go. Let's see. Woo! Oh yeah. All right. So you can see that even though I really tried to get in there and get all the dye into all those wrinkles, there's still going to be white parts. I mean, that's cool, you know, because it gives it a lot of really cool designs. But it just goes to show that it's pretty hard to kind of get it super saturated. So my policy is be generous. Cool. Okay, so now I've got to go do more hand rinsing. All right. Here it is. And bonus is that I folded it in half, so we have twice as much. Woo! So this is a nice amount of fabric with a lot of great texture. So I'm really happy with it. So now we have to throw it into a hot machine wash with that Synthropol detergent. So even though the colors are like super saturated right now, it's gonna get a bit softer as it washes and dries. So I'll show you, of course. All right, well, here it is, the final result. So it's been washed and dried. This is totally dry, and you can see that the colors have softened, and every fiber is going to have its own way of taking color. So, you know, this turquoise is a lot lighter than my little cotton swatch because it's a totally different fiber, but I love it. I think it looks great, and I think that the little finger pleats create a really nice fine texture, which I think is super interesting and cool. Yeah, so next I'm going to make a coordinating fabric using the ice dye method. So that'll be episode 2. So definitely check that out, because that has a totally different way of using the same dyes, and I think you're gonna love it. All right, thanks, bye.